Hello and welcome to all you Taurus people out there. This is your yearly horoscope for 2023. Of course, this is in a nutshell. But it gives like the flavor, the color of the year of 2023. And let's have a look, because I'm going to look at the big planets, right? From Pluto to Jupiter, but also if there are some retrogrades going on that could be significant for you. And there is one with your ruler. Let's start with that one actually, because that's a big thing. So your ruler is Venus, and we're going to have Venus retrograde in July to September in Leo. So is that important for you? Oh yes. Oh yes. Not only because it's your ruler, but also because it's in a fellow fixed sign. You are a fixed sign, and so is Leo. This is all going to happen at the bottom of your chart, which means this is your emotional well-being. This is literally your home, and how you nurture yourself, how you feel emotionally, how you feel nurtured and nourished, and all of the good stuff there. With Venus there, it's definitely a good thing, because Venus is normally like a couple of weeks there in that fourth house, but now it's going to be there a couple of months. But by going retrograde, it could mean that you will do something to beautify your home, right? Now, the key energy here is that Venus is going to be squaring Uranus in your first house. So for the whole month of July, it's that energy, and that is very rare. Venus square Uranus is doing something bold. It's doing something that you've never done before. So expect, when you would beautify your home, for instance, you would do it in a different way than you used to. Or you could be a bit alternative in that respect. And other people saying, is that our dear Taurus person? You know, you could do some new stuff, which is good for you. You could also return to, when you live abroad, for instance, to return to your home country. You could reconnect with parents. If there has been a fallout, for instance, or a problem, you could be reconnecting with a parent or with family, and also reconnecting with yourself on that deep emotional level. So I'm going to talk about that more in the monthly horoscopes, but it's definitely something very, very interesting and something new, something innovative going on there. And you've got still Uranus in your sign, of course. Now, for the whole year, Uranus is going to be from 14 degrees of Taurus up until maximum 23 degrees of Taurus. So the ones who are going to feel that the most are the ones born between the 5th of May up until like the 16th of May. But remember, all Taurians are feeling this Uranus energy. But they in particular will feel it very strongly now this year. And this is all about you being you being your own unapologetic you. Absolutely. I've been talking about that for months now in the monthly horoscopes. This is all about you freeing yourself up. I really like it. Although a lot of Taurians are, especially the ones who are quite stubborn, and not wanting to make that change, and not seeing that it's actually for the better, not only for themselves, but also for everyone involved, they can struggle even, because it's one of the most stubborn signs, and it doesn't want to change, even when a change is better than being in the same situation. So for those of you who are struggling, especially in relationships, you know, your one-to-one relationship, when this is not going well, this is really a sign of I'm going to free myself up here. Why am I? You know, you're ruled by Venus, which is all about confidence and all about self-love as well. So you could be re-establishing and owning back your freedom, so to speak. But for others, it's because they have changed so much with this Uranus and being bold in a way, they're going to attract new people. So if you are single, for instance, this could mean attracting new people into your life for sure. And also the nodes, they will be still in your sign, the nodes, up until the mid of July. So you still do have time up until July time. And then you're having that Venus retrograde there. I'll talk about that in a minute. But yes, that is the energy of you have to focus on you, right? With the North Node in your first house up until July, you need to focus on you. You need to focus on what do you want, and to do that in a very balanced way. And with the South Node in your seventh house, yes, relationships, things come to the surface. Things that were hidden can come to the surface, but they have to be like that, right? So although Taurians, they are they are people who don't like the stress in a connection, right? So when they have, and that's why sometimes they are a bit too, you could say, passive, but in itself, it is who you are. And I don't want to say that you are passive people, not at all. But passive in a way like, yeah, I don't want to disturb the connection. I just don't want to force things, and I don't want to talk it out because there's no use, and then they get stuck. But a lot of you will get unstuck because of this Uranian energy, because of the North Node in your sign. So make the most out of it. Again, these are energies. You do whatever you want to do. If you want to do your thing, you do your thing. You've got free will to do so. But making use of energies around you makes you stronger, of course, to go forwards and to grow. So, but definitely when the North Node goes into your 12th house, which will be after July, that means that there's going to be more time for you, July and onwards, for going towards how can I relax better? How can I let go better? How can I detach myself from old habits and old patterns that are no longer good for me? So that's going to be important then later on in the year. The planet Pluto is in a fellow Earth sign and is still going to be is working in your favor, basically in the 9th house, and that's going to be up until March. Because between March and June, it's going to shift into Aquarius. And that's going to be more testing for the Taurians, because this Pluto is showing. So let me restart. I want to say too much in too little time. But anyway, let me grounding energy of the Taurians will help me with that. So the 9th house with Pluto there, that is that transformation that you, on a very positive level, because Pluto is in Capricorn, that trines your energy in Taurus, and it has to do with your belief system, you opening up, you could say, and you transform. You're changing your belief systems, and therefore you're growing very fast. But as from March up until June, it's Pluto stepping and putting its toe into the sign of Aquarius, which squares your energy, and then it goes back into Capricorn. So it's a very short time that you are going to have Pluto squaring up to your energy. So especially the April born Taurians will feel that the most, because it's at 0 degrees that all of this is happening. So if you are an early Taurian, you will feel that you are transforming completely. You're saying, if it's your sun, for instance, you're saying goodbye to an old job or an old way of living or an old identity of yours that's no longer of use. If it's your ascendant, it's your whole life that is transforming. So very significant indeed. Then Neptune is in your 11th house. That's not something new, that's not something so important, but still you've got those Neptunian friends, very compassionate friends, very understanding friends, and full of empathy, and also goals. You could have more creative goals and express them, and wanting to have some new goals for the future that help you with your own creativity. Now, so I talked about that, the nodes, and Saturn is still in your Saturn is in your 10th house of work, but That is up until May. So yes, when it comes to work, there could be a bit more challenge, a bit more, I have to work hard to have my own authority. Less is more is definitely true there. But you could be, don't expect that people are going to give you, oh yes, you're doing all the best. You have to go inwards and look at, what do I want to be? Who do I want to be when it comes to my career? But then it shifts into your 11th house. So that could mean less is more when it comes to the friendships. That you say, yes, I'd rather have a good quality friend than having 10 that are meaningless. So it is with your goals for the future. So for you, it's definitely better to have one goal instead of having 10 and you're never going to accomplish them. That kind of energy. But a very important thing is when your ruler goes into Leo in your 4th house. So that I already explained, but it's very, very important for you to stand still with the beautifying of your home, with the nourishing of the self and all those good vibes. So all in all, it's absolutely not the worst year ever, because the outer planets are not clashing with each other. So last year, a lot of Taurians, I've seen so many Taurians where, because of the Saturn-Uranus square, and but that's gone now. So for you Taurians who have been feeling with one step in the old life and one step in the new, that feeling is gone. A lot of you will go into the new now and feeling ready for it. And that's very powerful. And on that positive note, thank you so much, dear Taurians, to watch the video, and see you next time. Bye-bye.